veggies ready. Let me get my funnel. Okay, so I'm getting ready to can my mixed vegetables. I know a lot of people are like, well, what's the point of canning mixed vegetables? For me, it's an easy way to go ahead and pull my vegetables out. I already know what's in them. And pretty much when I can them, I just use a little bit of salt. And not only that, this gives me the opportunity to pull some of this stuff out of my freezer. That way I don't have to have too much freezer space being taken over. So, yeah, some people into it, some people don't. That's cool. If you want to watch, stay tuned. I'm going to talk about it. So this is my funnel. I'm drying it off because I just finished cleaning it again. And this is my debubbler. I always use this when I'm canning. So again, today I am canning some mixed vegetables. Again, you don't have to do what you do in your house. I'm just sharing what I like to do. I got 2 bags of mixed vegetables from Food Lion. And both of them are 4-pound bags, which are 64 ounces. And I always make sure all my jars are clean. I always start off with my new lids that are clean. And again, I just can mine with salt. When you take them out and you heat them, you can add whatever it is you want to add to them. Now, I do have me some vinegar here. Vinegar is important for when I need to clean my the top of my lids. The lid of my jars. But we're going to get into that in a minute. So, this bag is already partially open. And I said, Lord, this is the way I like to preserve my my groceries. You don't, again, like I said, we're going to get into it. I'm going to pull the cup. I have 9 jars over here. 1, 2, I think I got 9 lids. Hopefully, that's enough. If not, I still have, I have extra jars. I have extra lids. So I'm good to go. I just like to start off by adding my vegetables to about right here. Okay. I put too many in there. I gotta slow down. That's gonna be a mess. Hopefully not. That's what I can do instead. And every now and then I just go through my freezer and see what items I can actually take out of there and can, and stuff like that. Okay, so that's that. I can tell definitely I'm gonna need some more jars, but so that's 4 so far. 5, 6. And it depends on where you get your bag and what store you get them from. A lot of times it's easy to, after you do it one time, you're like, oh, okay, well, I only need, X amount of jars for each bag. So I'm looking at just 7 for this one. So that's 7. If I wouldn't have used it already, I could have easily did 8. But I did use a little bit out of that one. And I'm just going to divvy them up. That way I don't have to worry about it being too much inside each jar. Now I have 7. Let me go grab a couple more jars right quick because I only have 2 right there. I might have overdid it this time because normally I only do 1 bag when I do my canning, but excuse me, it is what it is. At least 2 more jars. That one I can't use. It looks really yucky. Honestly, I'm glad I did it this way because that way I can go ahead and fill my canner up pretty decent. So far I have 13 jars. Here. And if it's some left over, I'll just probably cook those right quick. those are done, I have some salt that I'm going to put in there. And I'm going to use my funnel to drop a little bit of salt. You know, just, I'm not trying to heavily flavor them. However, I'm just going to add a little bit for each jar. And I'm using pink salt. From my understanding, the only salt that is not recommended is the iodinized. So you can use, you know, sea salt, pink salt, stuff like that. But the one with the iodine in, no. I am making a little mess with my salt. So now what I'm going to do is add the water to them. So I'm going to start adding at the front, that way you can see it in the front. And I'm not going to overfill it, because I still have to use my debubbler. So I'm going to pour it to where it's an inch of head space. And more than likely, I might have to add a little bit more water once I debubble it, but I'm just going to rock with what I got going on right now. And I already poured my water, so I can be ready. Might need a little bit more water. And I just turned the camera on because this is something I was going to do anyway, so it's impromptu. I'm always doing something behind the scenes. I just don't have time to be on live all day. Okay, so let me add. I'm going to fill this one up. This should be enough. My top in here so I can talk about how I get my top ready every time I use it. Okay. Now my debubbler, and of course it's a little more difficult because these are kind of frozen, well, very frozen. So I'm just trying to stick it down on the side to get some of the air bubbles out. That's the whole point of debubbling. Get those air pockets out. So I'm just going to do that to all of them. I need some more water in this one. And if you don't have one of these tools, a butter knife is fine, or whatever you have that you can press down in there. Well, I always do mine cold. That's just my preference. And it's a bit of a struggle to get down here. Some are easier than others. I can't see the comments right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna look at all the ones that I feel like I might need to add a little bit more water to them. Make sure the water level is where I need it to be. That way I don't have to buy any mixed vegetables for a while. What's up, Reba? Yeah, I already had them, and I was like, I need to go ahead and can them. I need to stock up too. I know that's right. What's up, Rabbit? Got the gun? Let me go ahead and I said I was gonna add them back, didn't I? Standard. But I wanted to wait until I did other lives. I got C, but it looks the frozen made very good. You know what? I do the frozen because again, you can get a big bag of these. Like honestly, the ones like at Wally, I ain't too crazy about buying their stuff. But if I had to, I would go get a bag from them. And it's really it's cost effective, especially if you already had the stuff. Or if you don't want to do this, you can you know, pull your food saver out and freeze them in portions or whatever. But I'm doing this to put them on the shelf. That way I don't have to have them in the freezer. And actually, I got to do some meats tomorrow, so I got my vinegar here. And normally I use a million paper towels when I'm doing this, but the vinegar, I'm gonna take that and go around the top of the lid. This basically makes sure there's no type of debris or anything like that for when it's time for me to put my lids on. So you honestly don't have to use vinegar with the vegetables, but you definitely need it like if you did meats because it helps cut that grease, that a lot of meats will have when you can. So I'm just going to clean these off. And what happens, well, for my canner, I already prepped my canner. I put 3 of these of water in there. So that's the perfect level for when it's time for me to pressure can any of my items. And my altitude, you always have to check and find out what your altitude is, and that is the amount of pressure that you generally will cook your items on. So I just put regular salt in here. You can always add, whatever it is you like. But like I said, when you take them out, it's no different than like when you buy the store-bought canned goods. It's just, it's just preserved in salt. That's it. So I just keep it simple when I put mine up. I got my lids. I might have to go grab another one of lids because I didn't even plan on doing this many, but I got them out here. I'm gonna go ahead and do them. And like I said, they've been sitting in the freezer. I got a lot of stuff that I can actually can. I got some ground beef I need to can. I got some ground turkey. I actually got some butter I need to do, but I haven't done it. Why does it look like that? I don't like the top of that lid. We ain't gonna use that one. Let me go get me some more lids right quick. And I might need me some more bands. Okay, so you still gotta put them in the pot with water to seal. Yep, I'm actually gonna I'm using my pressure canner today to seal them. So I'm not doing like when you do like low acid foods, like when I can my pineapples or my peaches, or like if you did a pasta sauce or something like that, you can use the other method, which is just the pot. But because these require a little bit more time, and and You got to put them in a pressure canner. You can't now it's some I've seen people boil them. They do them for like an hour and a half. I ain't doing all that. But I've seen it done. And it's very interesting. But a lot of people actually get it done without pressure cookers. And that's just something I haven't tried. When it comes to my vegetables and my meats, I haven't done that. Okay, I got just enough. And then I have some bands that are already sitting up here. I gotta go get some more. I'm gonna just tighten them. And they don't have to be super tight because you want to have enough, you want the water to be able to, go through it while it's in there to help seal the jar. So you don't want it too tight because I want to get a good seal. And I already know I got to get some more bands. So I need, oh, there's one right here. I had 9, so I need to get 2, 4, 6 more. I think they will get mushy if you put in hot water. You know what? So what happens is because these are the pint jars, generally when you can, it is recommended to do your pint jars for at least 75 minutes. The thing is, I'm not leaving these vegetables in there for no 75 minutes. They will definitely get mushy if I leave them in my pressure canner too long. So I time it and I take it out, in the time that I like to do it. I'm a rebel canner. Now, I don't rebel can with my meats, but because this is, it's basically, it's just a vegetable, I'm not doing, 75 minutes. That's crazy because if I did, I would have to do 75 minutes with meats. What's up, Deborah? Let me add you back in here. Deborah, I had to do some cleaning. I had to start over because I had people blocking people that I didn't like that. But yeah, so I gotta get 6 more lids, and those 6 start and go hard with it. I watch people do it all the time. You know what? I think I started to do it because it made more sense for, like, you know, it's not what you get, it's what you do with it. So a lot of times, if you, like when I was up here and I did the pineapples, if I would have bought 2 pineapples and I let them sit in here, they would have went bad and I would have been mad, right? So these, of course, this is nothing that's gonna go bad, but I took them out the freezer and I have space. Like, I don't, if I can take it out and I can pressure can it to, I guess save some of the energy. A lot of times my goal is to can it like when I bring it in from the store. But honey, I be tired. Like, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I'll go get like 40 pounds of chicken, and by the time I get it here, I'm like, girl, I am not doing that. So I put some to the side and then I freeze some and then I get back to it. I ain't did that in a while. But I'm definitely gonna do my ground turkey and I'm gonna do my ground beef because they come in handy like when you want to just quick like make a quick spaghetti, whatever it is you want to make. You can make a vegetable soup for real. It is, and you know what, I don't even know what I've been waiting on. I had these in here for a couple weeks, so I said let me go ahead and get them together. Let me get my lids right quick. It sure is about to be one. And you know another thing? Did you know? I know Deborah, you won't. You won't even. Oh, I don't. I know that won't you. Hey, Roslyn, how you doing? But it is gonna be a donkey. Another thing I like to can too, just to have it ready in the cut. You know, you can parboiled rice, but you gotta make sure you don't let it cook too long because you don't want it to get mushy, of course. But like when I first thought about the idea of canning, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous because I seen like the bad side of canning. But once you learn what you should do and what you should not do, it's not that bad. Now, one of the things I always recommend before you get started, you always have to inspect your lid. I mean, yeah, you need to make sure, child, this thing wore out. You need to make sure this goes up and down. Now, I always make sure it's tight at the bottom because I ain't gonna lie, one time that thing popped off when I was cooking some chicken. Baby, I was so scared. So what happened was this head got loose. But and I already took, if you can see, it's a little greasy and oily. I always take this out. You're supposed to do it like every 2 to 3 times that you can, and oil this. You know how like oil is basically a gasket, so it keeps it from sticking. And I go ahead and oil that early. I wouldn't cook it all because the water is going to get fluff, right? You wouldn't cook all of these at one time? All of these going in there together. I'm gonna stack these bad boys. I might be able to put like 9 at the bottom at the most, and then put the other 6 at the top. The rice. Oh, okay. Get all because the water is going to. Okay, so what happens with the parboiled rice? I've made it quite a few times, right? I learned how to make it from a lady named Homestead Hart, and what she did, she had the small jars like this, and she put it was I gotta go back and get the measurements. It's either you don't fill the jar up. Basically, it's like a the little cup, little measuring cup. And if I'm not mistaken, it might be 1/4. And only 1/4 of that parboiled rice is gonna go in one jar. So that way, when it expands, you don't have to worry about it being too much, right? And what happens is you put the rice in. I think it's, let me get it right. It got to be at least half a cup. So it's between 1/4 and 1/2. So you put it in there. It's not really going to be that much. And what's going to happen is you're going to fill the water up here and still leave yourself with a inch of head space. And she came up with the perfect measurements. Like, well, her measurements are so dope. She was in there making different variations. She was making like cilantro rice. She was making yellow rice. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But parboil is the only one. You can't do it with regular rice because regular rice, it has to be the parboiled one. But it's nice to have just in case if it, I I can my chili and everything. But it's nice to have. Um, I ain't gonna lie, my son will grab that rice off that shelf in a heartbeat because he don't cook. To put with one of his meals. So if I don't cook like rice or something that day, because I'm a rice cooker queen. I ain't gonna hold you. But these are gonna go inside. I need to get my other thingy. So the beautiful thing of using a pressure canner is you can stack your jars. That's what I love about me too. I gotta have it almost every day. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna start putting quinoa in mine too. Where you at, Deborah? Where you at? The casino somewhere? Where you at? So when I put this in the top, because you have to always have, of course, one at the bottom. But once I put the ones at the bottom, I line them, and then I add this, and then I can stack my other 6 at the top. And honestly, I'm glad I had 2 bags, and I'm glad I had enough. My God, do the house. Oh, that's good. I am glad you are. I'm glad. I'm glad you over there. I'm glad you over here. Because you was cutting up a couple weeks ago. I'm glad. I know you was gonna miss them babies. I'm glad you back over here. Yeah, they need you. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I need to put some of these at the bottom. You know what? I'm gonna bring it in here. That way you can really see what I'm talking about. I gotta put it somewhere. It's all good now. I knew it was gonna be all good. I knew. I knew. I'm glad it is. Okay. So this is my water. I don't know if it's gonna be tall enough to. Hold on, let me see what I'm working with, y'all. Let me see what I'm working with. All right, let me see what I'm working with. Okay, this is what we gonna do. We're gonna do it like this. Okay, so this is my pot, right? I already have my little metal one at the bottom. So I'm doing this with one hand. I'm holding the stand because we up in here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line as many as I can up in here. It should be at least 9. I think that's the most I've ever done. So it really comes in handy when you do your meat too. So move these around. Can y'all see? I'm moving the damn camera with my hand. Child, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to be inclusive here, you know. Okay. I ain't trying to make y'all dizzy. Oh shoot, wait a minute. I think I got 10 down there. I sure did. I done broke a record today, y'all. Yes, we can. Hold on. Okay, so now I can put this at the top. So this is my, and I bought this extra because only one comes with your thingy, pressure canner. So then I can take these and put these at the top. And the thing about the pressure canner, you only need a 3 inches of water. And the 3 quarts of water that I put in is enough to get me going. So I got 5 at the top. So, oh, this thing gonna be heavy as hell taking it in. To close it, you always, of course, line it up. So here is the little arrow right here. That's the arrow. There's an arrow on the top of the lid as well. Let me show it to you. Right here where it says open and close, there's a little arrow. So you always line them up together. You twist it like that. And twisting it and making sure it's closed is very important because when that pressure starts to build, yeah, you gotta have that thing right. So this is my gauge. Make sure it's tightened. I'm around here just grabbing stuff. And basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on the stove. And I'm going to let it all come up to a boil. The purpose of me doing everything, generally what happens is you need to have cold foods with a cold canner, or the food has to be warm with a warm canner. basically I can't have this already hot and put cold stuff in there because my jar is gonna break. It's gonna be a hot mess, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this on the stove, turn the stove on, right? Cut it up. What's gonna happen is everything is gonna start to heat together, right? And so when it heats, I'm going to wait for this to start to vent. Like you're gonna have to see, it's gonna be like a, when it's fully vented, it's a it's gonna be, this is gonna, it's gonna be like a white, well it's not really white, it's gonna be smoke coming out of there. And it has to be consistent for 10 minutes before I put my little thing on. Let me go get my little thing so you can see it. Now this is the one that came with it. So what happens is after it vents, you know, for that 10 minutes straight, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna cover it. And so all of the pressure then starts to build up inside the canner instead. Now, what I have to do, I do have to keep a close eye on it. I do have to make sure, because my now mind you, my temp is going, my I have a gas stove, so it's gonna be turned up. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep an eye on this because I need to make sure mine doesn't go over 10 pounds of pressure. Okay. So once it gets to that 10, I'm good to go. I can go ahead and I can adjust my heat and then just let it cook. And then I start my timer after it gets to that 10 pounds of pressure. Yeah. If you don't do it right, oh, and another thing, when it's time to take this sucker off, you let it cool all the way down. You don't touch nothing. You leave it on the stove, baby. Because if you pull this off, you can burn yourself. That's the thing about learning the safety part. And so you can even let it sit for hours till it fully cool down, or you can just wait till it goes all the way back down to zero. Now, when I take this off, once it's all the way cool, you said better run. You always remove it away from you. So if it's still warm, like some people like to go ahead and take, be extra, take it off as soon as it cool, and but you always have to, be safe and pull it the opposite way so all of that steam and stuff doesn't come in your face. You don't want to get burned in your pretty mug. Okay, let me go put this on. This bitch heavy as hell. That thing was heavy. So I'm gonna sit my fat tail down right quick. That thing was heavy. So yeah, I went and set it on the stove, turned the heat on. The pressure canner gonna make me run LOL. And you know what? I had to really get comfortable. I had to get comfortable with the process because I ain't gonna lie, I had to get over my fear of the possibility of this thing. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, is it worth the risk? But like I said, I watch, and she a sister. Her name Homestead Heart. She has a farm, and she does all type of nice recipes. Um, she even show you how to can use some daggone wings. Like she just be having so many, good recipes, and just a really down to earth person. And so after watching her, I watched her channel for a while. Because before her, I was watching Grandma Karma. Yeah, Homestead Heart. Um, and I was watching Grandma Karma. I think the first time I seen Grandma Karma she canned some bacon. I said, wait a minute, what? That's a thing? Man, I think before I started with not the vegetables, the fruits and stuff. And then I started making my own pasta sauce, and then I started bathing my pasta sauce. No. I'll tell you that the first thing I made was preserves. I made I think I started out with grape, then I moved into strawberry, then I moved into peaches. And you can can your beans. You can, yeah. So what I started to do, I slowly started to, get my jar collection together. Yeah, that's what I started doing. I was just making everything I could find. I'm looking over here because I'm looking at my stuff. But she helped me get over my fear. I ain't gonna lie. I I was like, I don't know about this thing. I don't know about, but yeah, it all worked out. Um, it can be long, like longer, cause like sometimes when I do meats, sometimes I'll cook like my leg quarters, cause like if I get a whole lot of them, I'll cook them, and then I'll take the meat off them and can them. But sometimes you can can the whole quarter, you know. In the larger jars, you can put them right on in there. So after learning how to do that, now I ain't gonna lie, I messed up a few times. But once I got it right, oh baby, you couldn't tell me nothing. You could not tell me a thing. Mm-mm. So it's something that I will probably do forever. And like I said, it's not what you have, it's what you do with it. So that's what I like to do. I've seen people do a whole chicken. Yeah, the big you can actually squeeze them into those the larger jars. Yep, I done seen that too. Hmm. And the crazy thing is, I think when I shared doing butter, people was like, "Why would you can butter?" I'm like, "Why not?" Because if you think about it, sometimes like what I started to do, right? I started to look at like all the sales, and it started to make sense. So where do your you store your jars? Hold on, right quick. Are you talking about my empty ones or my food? My food, I actually have like those metal racks. I'm not gonna show my food because I don't know who all be watching my live, and I don't want to have to, what I'm saying, nobody about my food. Yeah, Walmart. Mm-hmm. I just make sure I get the ball ones, cause all the jars, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people. I like to well, the thing about storing them, just make sure it's a cool space. They can't be like in the cabinets and stuff, because your the humidity of the kitchen could, interrupt the seal that you have on your food, and you don't want that to be a thing. So any cool spot, like a lot of the people, like when I first started watching it up here, they had like whole cellars in their house. I was like, what? Like if you go through and you watch a lot of these families that Just like have these rural homes, these homesteads, they got everything. They got like you would be like so surprised that like, okay, we've been doing this wrong for a long time. And it's again, it's not what you have, it's what you do with what you have. If you know you go to the store, and like I said, sometimes you'll catch butter on sale, can it. All you doing is pretty much melting it down slowly, adding it to the jar, putting the lid on it. Some people don't even heat theirs after that. They just kind of let it solidify and do its thing. Um, and I ain't gonna lie, that can butter hit different. That can butter be busting. Cause like when I can mine, I normally do half salted and half unsalted. I think the first time I did that was with some Wally butter, little sticks of butter and stuff like that, and they came out really really good. So, um, if you think about it, it's just it's just another way to extend or preserve it much longer. So, um, yeah, I've seen some prepper people store theirs in cellars and basements. Yep, because those are nice, cool places. Now, if you don't have a cellar or a basement, I just think of a cool spot where where I can put my food where I know it doesn't have direct sunlight, or if it's what I'm saying, it's not. And then I also have like it's a metal rack, but I have like a curtain that I can I'm always doing something extra. Like just the regular metal ones. Um, and it's like five. It's pretty wide, but anyway, I just basically got some of the little shower hooks, and I put the shower hook around the whole thing. Yep, at the top. So that's kind of like my area where I put that stuff, and then other stuff. Yep, I be making it do what it do. You know what it is, Darryl. Yep. So basically that's all I do to can my mixed vegetables. I've already done a video before, but since I was already doing it, I was like, well, let me just hit the live button and go live. I'm already doing it anyway. And I'll probably do my meats tomorrow. Hopefully I got enough jars. I think I didn't use them all. Baby, she does everything. You gotta listen. Again, with I ain't gonna lie. I am so glad I learned how. And I'm not just saying this just to say it. Because it was some months where I was able to look, you know how you say turn to your neighbor and say neighbor? I was able to turn to my shelf and figure out how I can make things jump off that shelf, and it worked. Those mixed vegetables can go with anything. Rice can go with anything. So, yeah, I do too. I do too. I do. Like at this point, that's like that is the ultimate goal. Yeah, that's the city is ghetto. The cities are, in my opinion. Um, I was sitting here and I'll post like pictures of people always like talking about seeing coyotes and sightings of them and whatever. I was watching a video last night and it was not foxes, coyotes wandering around the Bronx. I'm just like, you know what? And I get it, they tear down a lot of stuff. They don't have anywhere to go. They migrate and things of that nature. But I'm like, these are our new neighbors. They are recalling a bit too much in the last few weeks. Everything. I remember going into Kroger, and if like with my hand like right here, if I hold this phone up, the receipt can literally touch the bottom, touch the ground. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you did? That's cool because they have torn down their homes. Yeah, and it's sad because like as I look around and I see all the redevelopment in the area, I'm just like, That's why so many of them. They don't have anywhere to go, and then this is time of the year where they pushed out of the pushed out of the nest or whatever, and they got to get out here. They walking through neighborhoods. I'm like, oh my days. But I'm pretty sure the people in New York that has like rat problems probably will really appreciate having them around. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm so serious because that would be very helpful. Because they'll take them down. They will take them up out of there. But it is sad. So like the crazy thing is the last couple of years I have been seeing them and I didn't even know they was coyotes. They literally see them in the daytime too. So it's just like it's not even mating season yet. I thought mating season was like January to March. So, but yeah, every year my stepdad always had a garden. He always, and anything he grew, he would always say, "You always grow some more for the animals because they gonna come." You know what I'm saying? That's just gonna happen. And he would share his, his tomatoes or whatever he had. He always had him a garden every year. And I see a lot of I wish my goal is to have that garden space very soon. So I get it. I get it. But yeah, like I said, it ain't what you got, it's what you do with it. Just when it comes to I just use my jaws for everything. I use them to put my flour up in there. I put my everything. I feed all the animals I see. You know what? I normally do that, but I'm kind of nervous for the cats now because we do have like some stray cats, but I don't want nothing to happen to them trying to come over here and get none of my food. Cause I'm like, if I put that outside the front door, the coyote might come outside now. They have coyotes in the outer part of our city. Girl, this lady was even feeding them. Oh no, man, I heard that's one thing you don't supposed to do. Poor things, they struggling. They are struggling, but they can go ahead and I'm pretty sure they have a lot of garbage can. But and that's another thing. Like if you think about the economy and how things are going as far as food, nobody is throwing away extra food like that. So that thing of the past of being able to, rummage through the trash can, um, I don't think that's really happening that much because a lot of people aren't, I give the squirrels all kinds of nuts. Yeah, you know what? I used to go out like especially like it was like three cats. I used to feed I fed them all last winter, I ain't gonna lie. I was so extra. I used to go get the bag, for the winter feedings. Cause they got you know what, I'm gonna go and get it anyway. I'm gonna go get it anyway. And I'm gonna just, sprinkle it out there and if I'm gonna put it on the side. I ain't gonna put it like right by the door because I just don't want the coyotes, I don't want to walk outside and they sitting in the hallway waiting for their dinner. I don't want them problems. But I would feed the cats. I would put it on the side of the building. I sure did. I used to love, I fed them. I fed them so much they moved in and started sleeping under my car. They did. I did not welcome to them to that part of my life, but that's how good I fed them. I gave them tuna. I left them sardines. I fed them well. What? That ducks and geese rummaging. Oh, they gangster. Yeah, that's. And then like to see one of them was walking up a main road. I'm talking like 4 lanes of traffic on this side, 4 lanes of traffic on this side, and they were just going up the road on the sidewalk. And this was like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. People just flicking pictures and videos and like, look. And they probably was on it because they will travel miles away from wherever they lay their head. What is that? I think it's at like 5 miles away to get what they need. Um, and then the people say we got wolves, and then the wolves and the coyotes they hunching. That's how we got Barilla. I had put a picture. I called that one Barilla because that was not that was a hybrid. That very first one that everybody had spotted out um on a Friday, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, grazing in a large field out in the public. I've also seen where people have hit them too. That's sad. One of them did get hit. It was actually hit. It's like a road that goes straight to like one of the Air Force bases, and it's like a little area like back off. You know what I'm saying? So I can see them being close to that area living because it's like marshland and stuff over there. So yeah, that was maybe a month ago. That one he went gone. He gone because they travel pretty fast up that road. I think it's like 55, so they might go at least 70 to go to work. So, but yeah, it's just I've this year it's just it's just been a lot. It's been a lot to see them. Um, Now we have not had any attacks that we know of. Nobody has said anything about anybody being attacked. They said generally they do not attack. They said you know, but yeah, I'm just waiting for my thing to pump up some steam. But yeah, I'm just gonna go in here, wait for this stuff to get going, and that's about it. I'll probably after it vents, I'll probably let it cook for like 30 minutes. I'm not gonna do 75 minutes because I don't want any mushy vegetables. That's gonna be that, and I'm gonna leave them in there, and I'll probably take them out tomorrow. Oh yeah, and then when you take them out of the pressure canner, you're supposed to let it sit for 24 hours. So that means don't take the lids off. Just let everything cool and settle, and then you can take them off. Um, do you have a menu for? I'm not cooking. I ain't cooking. I don't. I really don't celebrate um like that. Now my family is, I'll probably slide. I did get, some invites or whatever. Um, but for the most part, no. I have, I haven't even given it a second thought. I might fry some chicken or something. That would be tasty. Fry, because I don't fry chicken all the time. Oh, I'm frying fish. Nope. I'm gonna fry me some fish. That's what I'm gonna fry me some fish. Yeah, because that was the goal. Yeah. It's it's my main family members, and it's not a lot of people that's gonna be there. So I'll probably go um for a little bit, laugh, and because it's gonna be very entertaining to say the least, like always. I'm just hoping don't nobody uncivilized come. Because you know how it is when people get the pouring up. So I will not be drinking. because I have to drive there and then I have to get back home. So I'll probably, have me some champagne or something when I come back home. And when I go over there, I'm gonna try to see if they're gonna cook early. That way I don't have to be out late. Cause Deborah, the people cannot drive. I'm just so driving has become ghetto to me. That's how I feel about it. Um, yeah, that's how I feel about it. At one point in time, people was happy to get their license and couldn't wait to drive. I'm talking about myself. I could not wait. I was excited. I was proud of myself. I went and worked my first job, able to, pay for those things. You know, um, I wouldn't make it on the scooter, but it sounds good. I don't live that close to everything, but and I already know like certain cities, their law enforcement gonna be out deep this weekend. So I'm really, and then the people they gonna try it, they gonna try it. So yes, that was the goal in high school to get my man. Listen, you couldn't tell me nothing when I got it. I had to pay like my brother had it so easy. Like he was able to take all his stuff at school, and because I was in like a magnet program, they pushed it like my schedule back a year, and I was like, I'm going to get my license this year. I went and got me a job. I caught the bus to that job across town. Paid for my own driving courses. Paid classroom behind the wheel. I paid out of pocket, baby. I was gonna get me a license. Now they be like, no, ma'am. Like my oldest son, he got his license. When he doing right, he got a license. I'm gonna say that. This one, I paid for it, paid for everything. He was not interested. He still has a permit. He's 22. Um, I just encourage him to go ahead and get it over with, to have it, because it will open up more opportunities. So you don't have, I'm like, you don't have to drive because you have it. Just get it. Just get it. So that was my goal. Um, Trying to get everywhere. Child, I'm so tired of riding down the road and people racing to the next red light. It just grinds my mother. I just be like, what the heck? What? Why? Why are we outside? Why? Why? Like, and then you get mad with me because I don't want to drag race to the next red light. Especially, yeah, in the case of an emergency. And not only that, we have it's like it was an apprenticeship school that I told him, I was like, maybe you would have had a better opportunity if you had your drive. That's one of the things that they look for that school. Um, you know, most of the jobs, like it's a lot of warehouse jobs in the area, and most of the warehouse jobs you don't have to have a driver's license. It's not required. But to do other things, and you're right, in the case of an emergency, you're right. Help your mama out. That's right. But and I paid for it. It was paid for. Um, you know how you could just go ahead and pay for the license when the driver, the thing is, yeah, I paid. I had already paid for it. I gave them people my money. Yeah, paid for driving behind the wheel. I'm tapped out. I said, I don't know what I don't know. I ain't whatever. Anyway, moving right along. Um, but one thing I did notice in the area, they changed the lights, and what I think they did, they made them longer. They made the red lights longer, which I'm glad, for the new lights that they put up and the new settings that they start to but I don't know how effective they are. I literally seen somebody yesterday ride through a red light. Like everybody was stopped. Thankfully nobody was coming, from the sides. And I think it came from them just not paying attention. They never stopped. It just and I'm looking at them, the other person in the other lane, they looking at me, and we just looking at each other like, damn, ain't that like red? So they can have it. I just, I encourage people to go around me. You know what? I need to make me one of them stickers. I'm gonna pull my Cricut out and I'm gonna cut me a sticker. Something real, good little raggedy jargon about, cause I ain't look. I'm the first to tell you, I will get in the right lane in a heartbeat. You know why? I got a +5 on my driving record. Yep, got a +5, and I take pride in my little +5. Now it ain't gonna help me with my damn insurance premium that much because these people they just terrible. But I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the rush is. I ain't got it in me like that no more. I am looking forward. Well, but you know what? Honestly, most of my days pretty much consist of me. Anytime I really have to drive is to go, you know, to the store. That's not that far. In the post office. That's it. So I'm good on it. It's stressful doing that. It's stressful. Cause yeah, yeah, it's stressful. But anyway, yeah, I'm ready to roll out. Well, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna roll in this kitchen. I can keep an eye on what I'm doing for right here. But no, I'm not cooking. Ain't gonna be no sweet potato pies. Ain't none of that. I might go in here and make me some banana nut muffins. But I just don't do all that. I ain't making no scratch mac and cheese. I ain't making no greens. I ain't doing none of it. Oh, I do want some cornbread with my fish though. I want some cornbread, some fried fish. Yeah, I don't want no turkey. I don't want no ham. I sure as hell don't want no damn chitlins. I don't want that. Um, Cause if I'm gonna walk and eat, I'm gonna walk and eat something light. But I am gonna make a large breakfast. That's something I absolutely love. Ever since I was a kid, I mean, I enjoy going to eat. When my mama cook or whatever like that. But I love when it was time to wake up and I smelled that bacon and I had them pancakes that was cooked in the cast iron skillet. Yeah, that's what I want. Yep, I want me some grits. I'm gonna have me some sausage, some bacon. Um, oh, I gotta make some biscuits. I want me some fried apples. That's gonna be the exciting part of my day breakfast. Mm-hmm. That's it. I ain't lying. But I do want me some fried fish. And I haven't had cornbread in a very long time. Very long time. Hmm. That's what I'm gonna have. Now I'm gonna go when I slide through the other place. I'm gonna get me a plate now. I'm gonna get me a plate. But not like how it used to be. It's because a lot of that stuff I just don't eat like that anyway. But anyway, I'm ready to go. I keep saying that, but I am gonna go for real this time. I appreciate y'all pulling up. You know, I had to clean this mess up that I brought in here to can. So yeah, that's it. They gonna get done, and they gonna go on the show, and that should last me a good little while. Cause between that we eat those and we eat broccoli, and I more than likely the broccoli I have fresh broccoli and then I got frozen broccoli. So both of my broccolis. See, you can't really can broccoli good. Okay. Oh, have fun with the babies. You can't broccoli good, but I do. Uh, I separate them and I put them in my vacuum seal bags. But yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all later. Get my butt up.